Hey everybody, welcome back to UK Games Expo for another live stream. I am joined by the mighty Azrael from Mythic Games, and we're talking Super Fantasy Brawl.
You absolutely nailed it. Some crazy fool decided to book in the video slot right at the end of day one. I don't know who that was. It was me. Okay, it was me. I decided that I'd come and see you guys right at the end of day one, and my goodness, I'm ready to fall off my seat and fall asleep.
It's alright, so hang on, you fall asleep, this belongs to me, yeah? Okay, fair deal.
Oh no.
It's on camera, fair deal.
I have to stay
got my copy, I'm happy.
Perfect. Super Fantasy Brawl is the game if you want to stay high energy and stay awake. This is the game to demo. My guys have been buzzing all day from games of it.
Well, I mean, like, your stand has been absolutely bumping. Important question.
Crude bumping.
Just one important thing.
Yeah.
Did you run out of dragons today?
We ran out of today's dragons. We couldn't fit any more in the stand.
Okay.
So they're all gone, but we're restocking for Saturday, so there will be some more on Saturday because we can only fit so many. They're not small, so we will have some more dragons tomorrow.
Okay, so tomorrow morning, as soon as the doors open, beeline for Mythic stand. Make this man cry.
We're right by the front door, so at least you don't have to walk far.
Yeah.
Right? The big news, I mean, for us though, is this at the minute. The dragon's big fun, right? But this is kind of something I want to talk to you guys about, and we said this, we leaked it a little bit this afternoon on Facebook, but I want to officially say, with On Tabletop and Beast of War for the first time, that Super Fantasy Brawl is coming to Kickstarter in 1 month's time. That's right. Where did this come from? We're going to do a little short campaign, just like 5 to 7 days. We're going to have a little flash opportunity for people to get on board with the game and just be like an early adopter. Get like the print and play, get some early nice Kickstarter kind of goodies like neoprene and plastic tokens and stuff. So when this hits retail, the start of next year, all the Kickstarter backers will have had a little chance to get a couple of weeks extra practice and some extra shiny stuff like 3D terrain and tokens and stuff. And we decided in a month's time, end of June, we're going to be taking this bad boy to Kickstarter. So we're just like, right, we're going to come film with you. We're going to do a bunch of videos, but we've got a little setup here.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, this is a game. I've had the good fortune to be one of the lucky few to have seen this already. And this game is one to watch. Mythic always do amazing games. If you want something super light, super fast, just punch your mates into the ground and giggle while you do it, this is the one for you.
Hey, that's sold it for me, right? So
you're making it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'll buy it from you right now.
So this is my copy. Okay, not for sale.
I'll chat a bit about what it actually is.
Of course,
obviously, it is Super Fantasy Brawl, so it's exactly as Justin said. It's a big arena brawler where we've got this kind of colourful, vibrant board here, where you basically are going to be moving around. We'll have champions from all your kind of specific fantasy kind of realms, so dwarves, trolls, ogres, high elves, magical characters that are going to be moving around the board and fighting each other. And of course, let me bring these in and show these off. We have some absolutely, there we go. We have some absolutely gorgeous minis. The scale of these are really hard to take in. They're 40mm bases, and the average human probably be about 50mm scale. So they're chunky, really, really nice to paint. Absolutely gorgeous. These are our 3D prints. So this is Gwen, our high elf sorceress. She's all fire and thunder. You compare her to someone like Dugrin. Oh, not Dugrin, sorry, Goldar. Goldar is our ogre pirate, scourge of several seas with his spear, his anchor reeling behind him. I absolutely love this anchor that's freely flowing around him and his little chest of gold that he has right on the back. And the idea is that you're playing with these fantastical champions from all the different kind of fantasy lores that you can possibly imagine. So we want to do werewolves, vampires, goblins, everything you can imagine. And it's completely faction free.
Yes, this is what I was going to say. I mean, like, I'm never going to mix a high elf with a dwarf. Az is keeping an eye on the chat. So if you have questions about this, feel free to get
Robert Smizzy just went, dwarves for the win. You know, it passes Dugrin's card and we'll show them. So we do, of course, we're going to open the initial core set of the game with a dwarf, 100%.
Of course, you could not.
Here's Dugrin himself. All right, very, very tanky, 2 defense, 6 health warden of the north. And here is his Mooney. He is, so yeah, I mean, you could, because the game is faction free, you could absolutely have Dugrin and Gwen working together. They're going to absolutely bring their cards and their decks and make them into one if you want to. There's no rules.
Never the twain shall meet. This is wrongness.
Come on.
I will not do this unless they are incredibly filthy in game.
Well, so let's talk about it. So what was the game about? The game's about brawling and trying to get to 5 victory points. And you're going to get to victory points by knocking out your opponent's champions and by completing challenges. But before you even start the game, you got to choose your champions. So here, for example, I have 3 champions. You have 3 champions. And each of them comes with their 3 champion cards that represent essentially their stats, their health and their defense. But the important thing is that alongside these, they also come with 6 action cards.
Yes.
So for example, let me show off Suzar. Suzar is our Tagaran swordsman. I'll bring him in just so you can see him a little bit with his flash jade, oh, there we go, swords. and Suzhou is all about fairness, justice in the world, and he comes with this absolutely stunning art for the Jade Claw. So this is what you'll use to kind of track your stats and the character, but you also have 6 cards. So these 6 cards represent Suzhou's abilities. These are his personalized asymmetrical way to play the game. And each of these cards has a color, and the color is very important sort of Fantasy Brawl. So for example, Pounce is a yellow card with an attack and the ability to pounce around. We've got Focus, which is like a temporary buff, which buffs him and his allies to do more movement and damage. We've got Flash of Jade, which is his way of sort of dealing damage in an area all around him. He's kind of trying to take all the enemies down to half health, essentially. It's kind of like a special skill attack. We've also got Double Strike, which is, I mean, it's what you expect it to be. It's a strike and a strike again. Yeah, right. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We've got Challenge, which is a way of maneuvering your opponent. You're pulling them into you, you're dragging them towards you, calling them out. And we have his reaction, Revenge, which he uses when somebody hits him or one of his friends, he can deal that damage and reflect it back again. So why is this important, right? Because when you pick your 3 champions, you mix and match them however you want. You take 6 cards for each one. I've actually got 6, 6, and 6. My 18 card deck, shuffle that up. That's us good to go. We're ready to play. Just you pick whatever you want champion-wise.
Okay, well, I've got Kilgore, Dugrin, and Darren. Darren's one of my favorites because she's a really nice sort of hunter-ranged character.
She's the Robin Hood of kind of hit and run kind of tactics. So when we play, we always have the board. I'll move the champions off for a second.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is we need to work out what the challenges are going to be. So up here at the top of the board, we have a challenge track. I'll move the gold out of the way a bit. And this is like a river where we have challenges go from worth 0 points to 1, 2, 2, 1, and then off the board. So essentially, trying to avoid the glare there, we have to try and compete with each other to score these challenges before they get off the end, and obviously before each one of us do.
Yeah, and we have to try and deny our other player, or our opponent, the ability to actually score them.
Yeah.
I'm tired too.
It's been a long day. Long day one. So you shuffle these up, and the very start of the turn, what I'm going to do is reveal 2 of them. We'll put 1 in the 1 victory point slot, and 1 in the first available non-scoring slot. So we have to, at the start of our turn, meet one of these criteria to get the points on the board. So you and I both know that these are telling us to control different areas. We've actually just randomly shuffled a deck and got control the yellow area, which is here, or control the purple area, which is over here. So we know that going into the game. That's giving us some random challenges for us to now fight over. What we're then going to do is essentially play some traps is the next stage. So we have a deck of traps. I'll say that I'm the first player just for talk's sake.
Not a problem.
So what I'm going to do is from this pool of randomized traps, I'm going to grab one of them, and there are 6 trap hexes on the board, which is a little bit hard to see in this prototype. But the idea is that I will place these in a way that I think is going to mess around with you. So I'm going to try and place a trap on this trap hex. That'll stop you getting to the yellow area. And I'm going to randomly choose another trap for this trap hex here, rather than this one, because it's hopefully going to get in your way going to the purple area.
Yeah, now I'm actually going to try and play the long game a little bit, so I'm going to put one into the red area here, and I get to place another one, yes?
Yep.
And then I think, just because it's more of an immediate threat, I'm going to try and block through this here. So you're kind of forced into this channel, which could be very useful.
I do not want to be in there. And you'll see, the traps are never good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our cards. If I'm going the first, what I'll do is I'll draw 5. And there's a couple of things I'm looking for here. So the first thing is, all the cards have different colors, as we showed for Suzhou. And the reason that's important is because when you take your turn, you have 3 actions to take. And those 3 actions are represented by 3 colors. I'll pop these in for a second. So we have red, blue, and yellow. These are the 3 cores of magic which make up the Super Fantasy Brawl logo, which these 3 cores of magic, when they come together, make true magic. When they're done separately, you have creation, manipulation, and destruction. And these are basically my 3 actions on a turn, which can be used for cards or can be used for standard actions that are always available to both players. So I can simply flip one of these and say I'm going to do a move and heal, or I can flip one over and play a yellow card. Very, very straighthtforward. So you're learning the game is really, really simple. So I draw my hand of 5, and I'm going to.
My hand of 5?
Oh yeah, I drew one too many. Forget me. I'm cheating already on day 1. So I draw my hand of 5, and then essentially what I would do is I get a partial mulligan if I wanted it. So I said, you know what? I don't need this reaction because I'm going first. I'll get rid of that, and I draw one to replace it, and then you get to do the same.
So I'll prop 3 back in.
Nice.
And I draw to replace. Yes.
Yeah. So the game's very deterministic. There's no dice, and you've only 18 cards in your deck. You'll get 3 actions per turn, but you'll go through 5 cards every turn, no matter what you do. If you only play 1 and 2 standard actions, or you play 2 and 3 standard actions, doesn't matter, because at the end of your turn, your entire hand goes into your discard pile and you draw fresh new 5 cards, which means every 3.5 turns, 4 turns, you're cycling through your entire deck. Meaning, if I know what my champion's potential is and their 18 cards, and I know what your champions and their 18 cards can do, you can get this really easy entry level, but high skill ceiling for the people that really want to delve into the meta and the competitive aspect of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if you're good enough to remember every single card in the game, you can get a seriously good read on what abilities your opponent's going to have.
Absolutely. What is Lord of Cthulhu? Traps wouldn't be good traps if they were easy to spot as. That's a very, very good point. Because someone pointed Justin's head as dazzling. Hey, he is dazzling, and we like the fact that he dazzles.
Shiny, and I'm kind of sweaty.
Sweaty. Anyway, sweaty. So we both have our 5 cards.
Yes.
Now we do placement of champions, starting with the first player, and then we alternate back and forth. So I'm going to open up with my tanky Goldar, pop him right in the middle for a bit of just front line defense, essentially.
Okay, now I know you're going first, but I know he's not the quickest character, so I'm actually going to put Darren right across from him.
Okay. We'll talk about this reasonably openly. I'm going to put Suzai here in the hope that I can pounce over and claim some territory quickly with him.
I actually need to think ahead a little bit at this point, so I'm going to put Dugrin over here.
Okay. And I'm now trying to decide, do I want to split up or do I want to focus on one side of the board? I'm actually not sure. Do you know what? I'm gonna go on one side. I'm gonna put Gwen here.
Okay. In that case, Darren needs support, so Kilgore is coming along with her.
Wicked. Okay, so we're set up. We're good to go. First player, I'm going to take 3 actions.
Yep.
We check for the challenges at the beginning of your turn, but at the moment there's nothing to score because we've just started, and these will not move until the end of the round. So let's just kind of fire through. I'm going to use let's see. I'm going to use my blue action first of all. And I'm going to use my blue action for Gwen's teleport card. Now this is a skill, it's not an attack, and it simply just says jump 4. So I'm literally jumping into there, landing somewhere within 4 hexes, and this uses my blue core, my first of my 3 actions.
Yes.
So I'll pick her up. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes all the way to over here, starting to claim this area, because controlling that area is one of the challenges currently out there.
Yeah.
To control an area, all you have to do is have more champions in that area than your opponent. If we score these, we get victory points. First to 5 wins the game. My second action, I'm going to go on the offensive, a little bit bold possibly, but I'm going to spend my red. Yeah, this could be good. I'm going to spend red on, I'll chuck it in. So this is Flame Spear. I'm going to go with Gwen again. So I have a 1 move followed by a 3 to 5 range attack. So she's going to move 1 hex to here, and a straight line direct attack between 3 and 5. So I couldn't target the first 2 hexes. Gwen's not good at short range, but she's good at long range.
Yeah.
So on Darren, it's strength 3, and after the attack, you'll be pushed for 1. Now I have to give the opportunity to Justin to potentially react to this. If he has any reaction cards, and at the minute each champion brings 1 reaction each, but that could change as we bring out more and more champions with the game, of which we're going to have loads of different champions.
Unfortunately, do not have a reaction.
No, you do. You're just choosing not to play it. You're choosing not to play it, right? So we'll resolve this. I have a strength 3 attack. You have a defense of
0.
0. So it will be 3 damage initially. I'll give you that, sir. So from 7 to 4
onto the card.
And then I have a push of 1. Now, unfortunately, Darren is going to get pushed directly away from Gwen, but Kilgore's behind her. I mean, she has nowhere to go, which means she takes a damage for each push she can't do.
Yeah.
And it goes through to any defense you might have. So maneuvering around the board, super important.
Yeah.
Especially when dealing with tanky guys like Dugrin the Dwarf with 2 defense. He absorbs attacks, no problem, but you push him into a trap, or you pull him or push him into champions, he's going to take damage because he can't defend against that. So she'll take an additional 1.
And blast. Give me 1.
So, okay.
So all the tokens are marked 3 and 1, just so you can do very simple math on them.
And then my last action I'm going to use as a standard action. So I'll show this again quickly. So I don't want to play a card. I'm just going to use my standard actions. You'll see each color has its own specific one. The blue one lets you, I'm sorry, try and get the glare. There we go. Move 1 and put a card on top of my deck with this plan ability to plan a card for next turn. This one lets me move 1 and heal 1. And then I can also use any one of them to move 2, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to simply... Actually, no, I'll move 1 and plan 1, actually.
Okay.
No, hold on, hold on. I played a blue, I played a red, I have to play a yellow, so I can't move 1 and plan 1. I'm just going to move 2.
Okay.
So Gwen is going to just simply scooch back to here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. That's my 3 actions. I take the rest of my hand, so 3 cards remaining, and I just straight up discard them. I refresh my 3 cores, and I draw 5 new cards. And the reason the refreshing the cards and refreshing the cores and the cards is important is because now Justin's turn will come around. If I have reactions, I can play them in his turn.
Yeah, but it will cost a core.
That's it. They'll cost a core, which means I won't have that core for my subsequent turn. So I have to think, is that a good or bad thing to do?
All right, I'm feeling the need for a little revenge, so I'm going to
Love it.
spend my red core.
Okay.
I'm going to spend it on Kilgore just to move 2.
Okay.
So uno, dos.
Nice. So standard action sprint, essentially.
Yep. I am then going to use my blue core.
Yeah.
Now this will give him a move of 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Show this off. And he's going to hit every single. So this, it says move of 2 here, and then this dictates that he's going to do a strength 2 attack to everyone around him.
Now this I'm going to be using. I won't get its extra ability for the heal, but I will move here.
Oh,
and I will
brave.
punch you in the face for 2.
Okay. Do you know what? I am going to have to choose to take that, I'll simply say. And so I have a defense of 0 on Gwen, so I will take the full 2 strength attack for 2 damage.
No.
Oh, 1 core left.
Yeah. It has to be a yellow, so I'm going to use Kilgore again for Maul Thrash.
Cool.
So strength of 2,
Yeah.
and after the attack, push 2.
I don't like that whatsoever.
This is quite good for me.
I don't like that in any way, shape, or form. Oh no. Yeah, I have a reaction, but I don't think it's really great. I'm going to play it because
I get the feeling we could just forget about the live stream and just play this to the end.
you guys, you do what you're doing. I'm going to react, right? So you'll see a reaction card slightly different.
Yes.
It's got grey text and it's got this symbol, this universal symbol, which means it can be played on any champion.
Yeah.
Usually, if you've got a card like Gwen's, you play Gwen's card on Gwen. And as we showed before, we will have full art on the final version. These are just prototype at the minute. We will have full art on every single card. Reactions are different because although this is Goldar's reaction, it can be played on any champion I like. So I'm going to give +1 defense to Gwen initially, and then after the attack, there's going to be a trigger. You're going to be feared 2.
Ooh.
So you hit me for strength.
Strength of 2.
Strength 2. I'm now against defense 0 becomes defense 1.
Yep.
So I take 1 damage.
Yep.
We're then going to have the after the attack effects, and mine happens first. So the attacker suffers fear 2, which means you have to move. You have to in any direction you wish, but a full 2 hexes. So your choices would basically be 1, 2 through this trap towards me, 1, 2 through that trap to the back wall, 1, 2 to this trap to here, or 1, 2 to that non-trap.
All right, I'm going to take a rest. Now I know some of the traps can actually lock you down.
Yeah.
But I'm going to move through this one. So I move in there.
On the other side.
Trigger the trap, and I take 2 damage. Which is fine, and that negates defense, yes?
So yeah, you don't get any defense against true damage. So I'll give you those 2, and then
my second one.
That's a trap. No, it has to be a straight line movement. It's not so you sure you want to do that? You'd have to go to there.
Yeah, that's not so good.
Yeah, the fear is basically forcing your enemy to make a move they don't particularly want to move.
Yeah, I will put that.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
There.
It's not
there.
too. Yeah, that's fine. So 2 into the non-trap space is probably what you want.
Yeah, I'll probably just go. Now you're saying I have to move in a straight line.
Yeah.
Could I move directly into a wall and just beat my head against it and take 2 damage?
You have to try and move because you're being feared away from you.
Okay, so I'll go 1, 2 to here.
Cool.
And does that negate my push 2?
This is it, right? Because I reacted, my reaction happens before yours. So when you come to push, you're no longer in my line, my head. So I do not take that push. And that's critical for what's about to happen.
Yes.
So I've used my red core. Next turn I will only have 4 cards and 2 cores.
Yep.
But that was your third, so it's the end of the round.
Yes.
So what we do is we slide all the challenges across one. So we have a new challenge, have a champion in each deployment area. So that's now available for both of us. Start of the next turn, I start my turn. I don't draw anything because I did it, of course, last time, but I check the challenges. So do I control the yellow area? No, I do not. Do I control the purple area? Yes, I do.
This is why I was trying to knock you out.
This is why the fear is perfect.
Yeah.
So I have 2 victory points. I'll remove this because essentially I've scored it, and I have 2 of the 5 that I needed to potentially get to 5 to win.
Yeah.
So what we basically find with the game is, generally speaking, the guys that can play it, the play testers we've had play it, the ones that can learn the cards, see the opportunities to put some damage on, but also try and hold objectives, choose when it is the right time to react, plan and put cards on top of your deck to keep them from later, for later when you need them. They're the people that kind of come out on top because there's very little randomness. It's only really the order of your cards. And we're going to have proper competitive play too.
Oh yeah.
So the general gameplay is 3 champions versus 3 champions.
Yes.
But we're also going to have a mode where if you're into kind of competitive or organized play, you're going to be able to draft as well. So I'll bring 5 champions, you'll bring 5 champions, and we'll have a little picking and banning process where essentially we will kind of whittle down each other's teams, so we're left with a 3 team that we have to then represent with. So if you're going to like your friendly local game store on a games night, you'll potentially play this kind of more competitive if you're interested in it. And that means you have to be prepared to play with any 3 champion combo out of the 5 that you choose to bring.
Yeah, there is one mode I would love to add to this, which is arcade arcade random mode. Do you remember whenever you used to play the old like Street
Fight Fighters and stuff? Dude, that'd be so good.
I just want like a
All
punch-out
random.
token with a full random crew being pulled out of a bag. Could be amazing.
I could get behind that actually, because yes, there's no deck building per se. So essentially, each champion brings 6 cards to the fray, and then you just mash them together. So whenever you look at the game, it's going to be something that's going to be in stores start of next year. We'll have launch night kits, so we'll have opportunities for you to come and play with your friends and get engaged. But in 1 month's time, towards the end of June, we'll be doing a Kickstarter. So if you want to be an early adopter, if you want to get some of the champions a little bit before they hit retail release, and also if you want some nice aesthetic things like neoprene, like plastic tokens, like some 3D terrain for the statues in the board, you'll have the opportunity to kind of get on board early, and that's something we'll be doing with a Kickstarter. But everything on the Kickstarter from a gameplay perspective, all the champions will come to retail, because it's going to be completely organized play focused, really kind of supported long term. We'll have a new champion every month. You'll be able to get involved on a regular basis if you want, or just play it casually if you like.
Yeah, see, this is a game that you can just play it your way, and every last miniature that you guys are doing is so gorgeous, and each one has its own individual scenic piece. I just love the way this one runs.
It's the comparison of the likes. Like you look at the likes of Kilgore standing next to Dugrin, and it's just like, oh man, like the variety we're going for. We want to really encapsulate like all this kind of typical fantasy, but also explode it up a little bit, make it really super, make it really fun, make it faction free so you can play with them however you want. And if you are interested in being competitive, you can go that route. It's really kind of a bit flexible. Well, it's Year of the Hex. Man, I'm good with Year of the Hexes. Wasn't the Year of Oblongs when Age of Sigmar was released and GW ditched squares and rectangles for pieces? That's a pretty good observation. I really dig that. So yeah, we're going to come and do some filming with you at some point. We'll get some proper full strategic games in.
Trust me, I want to go hammer and tongs at you on this one. I want to go super heavy duty.
Super fancy Brawl, super heavy duty. I'm super down for that. If you're watching this later, the best thing I can ask you to do is have a look at our Facebook for Mythic Games, or there is also now a Super Fancy Brawl Facebook page. And then just at the end of June, keep an eye out. It's going to be a short campaign. We're literally just talking kind of a week, roughly, something like that, maybe a little bit shorter, just to get some early adopters and people who are passionate for this kind of exciting game and who might be interested in print and play test, maybe even doing kind of online versions like Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator. So over the next kind of 6-7 months, we can bring out more champions. We're talking at least having a pool of 12 in a month's time, but we really will be expanding past that. So yes, there's a wealth of exploration from these initial 6.
Nice. Well, Az, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for showing it off. I wish you all the success in the world with this game, because I want to have it go huge. Everybody, tell you what, get your comments in below. Do not forget, we have a fantastic Monster Apocalypse prize up for grabs on this post in the live stream. I know I've been digging it.
Man, Privateer Press, just nail it. I love it.
Oh, yeah. So get those comments in. We'll move on. We will see you in the next stream.